morning. Today is a much quieter day. Yesterday was relatively mild, but you didn't really get much time to enjoy that because the wind picked up and it was so wicked in the afternoon. We had gusts over 40 miles an hour. There were reports of power outages, spotty across the region. And right now it is, again, not as bad as it has been. Certainly not as bad as last week, but it is a bit of a colder morning. Let's go ahead and take a look. Current temperatures are near freezing, especially to the north and west. And this is what we'll be seeing tomorrow morning as well. Look at Pottstown and Allentown. Temperatures are in the 20s. And why do I mention tomorrow morning? The reason for that, well, we've got some rain moving in overnight. And if rain falls on a ground surface that's at 28 degrees, you're going to get the potential for some ice. So while today is quiet, tomorrow may not be quite as quiet, at least for parts of our area. Let's talk about, again, what to expect. We'll start with today. Today, as you step out the door, you do need that heavy coat. Again, it's a little bit of a colder day, but again, 42 degrees. Not too bad. The wind has died down a little bit, but I don't think you can really get away with just the hoodie. You need that winter coat today. It is more of a typical January day. But as we look at the local satellite and radar, there's really nothing to worry about. At least not yet. If we widen out, you can see that next system, and it's pushing in very quickly from the southwest. This is mainly rain, but again, it's the arrival time. This is going to get in the middle of the night, and some spots from Lehigh, Northampton counties up through the Poconos will be below freezing. We've got a winter weather advisory from the overnight hours tonight until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Coming up, I'll walk you through the timing of the rain and potential freezing rain, and of course, we'll talk about that weekend forecast as well. Kim, I'll talk about the forecast because we've got some interesting things to talk about. Nothing major, but we will have the threat for some ice tomorrow morning in the Lehigh Valley and the Poconos. So let's get right to that. We'll talk about today first and foremost. Today, not a lot to talk about, which is a good thing. It's always a good thing when there's not much to talk about in the weather sphere because that means generally nice, quiet weather. And right now it's chilly, but it's not as bad as it could be. Certainly not as bad as last week. We keep saying that over and over, kind of put it in perspective. This is more normal January conditions. And here's the best news. The winds have now calmed down. About an hour ago, we had winds still 10 to 15 miles an hour. Winds are now calm, and that means 32, which is the current temperature, feels like 32. How about that? It's a novel idea. The wind chill, not a factor this morning. So lots of sun, and the best part of all, not as windy today. 42 is our high. Winds are westerly, but they're light, calm right now, about 5 miles an hour at most. So we get this nice little break in the action from the windy day yesterday out ahead of a rainy day tomorrow. And tomorrow looks like we'll be dealing with rain pretty much all day long. The concern here is that this system is coming in from the south and west, and it's going to arrive overnight tonight. The problem, temps are going to drop as soon as the sun goes down, and in some spots to the north and west, temperatures will drop near or below freezing. So again, there's that winter weather advisory. It's the Lehigh Valley and the Poconos. I think it's mainly outside of the major cities of the Lehigh Valley, northern Northampton and Lehigh counties, and the Pocono counties that will have to deal with the risk for icing. But as we take you through today, we'll take a look at the conditions, and today looks beautiful. Lots of sunshine, no problems there. Here comes the rain, and it starts to lift into the city by about 2 a.m. At that point, temperatures are still above freezing. By the time we get to 3 or 4 and that rain gets into the Poconos and the Lehigh Valley, it is below freezing there, and that pink you see is the threat for ice. Spotty at best in the Lehigh Valley, but a little bit more widespread in the Poconos. 5:30, we're dealing with widespread light to moderate rain. 8 a.m. rain, especially down the shore, and then it fills back in for the evening commute. Looks like a very soggy Friday and a very slow go. But if there's a bright side, it's that the sun's back for the weekend, and look at next week. We have a hint of spring near 60 on Monday. Kim, I'll send it over.